California spent $24 billion on homelessness. $24 billion. You know what happened? The homeless population went up. More tents, more encampments, more people dying on the streets than ever before. So I started asking, where did the money go? Because now LA is under federal investigation for homeless fraud and corruption.
Even though the developer received all the money from the state, the developer did not complete the construction.
Yesterday, I showed you $54 billion in California welfare fraud, no accountability. Today, it gets even worse. The homeless industrial complex exposed. Let me show you the receipts. Let's play a little game. Let's play follow the money. Gavin Newsom made homelessness his signature issue. Billions in spending press, conferences, bold promises. We're going to solve this, is what he said. So what happened? In 2022, the California State Auditor released a bombshell report. They tracked $24 billion in homeless spending across 5 years. What did they find? The state had no idea where the money went. No tracking system, no accountability measures, no way to measure if any of it actually worked.
$24 billion in tax money on the homeless crisis, and they are just beginning to audit the programs.
$24 billion taxpayer dollars, and they couldn't tell you if it helped a single homeless person off the streets. But that's not even the worst part. Steve Hilton called it the homeless industrial complex. Here's how California homeless spending actually works.
And it just keeps getting worse, Pete.
Right, Trace. 3 data points. California is 10% of the country's population, 30% of the country's homelessness, and 50% of the country's what we call unhoused homeless, those who are living in these encampments, those who are living on the street. This is a real policy failure, and it starts with the governor as well as our mayors here.
The state gives billions to counties, counties give it to cities, cities give it to nonprofits, nonprofits give it to subcontractors. And somewhere along the way, the money disappears. Administrative costs, executive salaries, consultants, conferences, overhead. Everyone gets paid except the people sleeping on the street. California Underground reported that Los Angeles spent over $800,000 per homeless housing unit. $800,000 for a single unit. Now, you know what you could buy for $800,000? A house, an actual house. But they spent it on one unit, and the homeless population still went up. And here's what makes this criminal. Now, the feds are involved. LA is under federal investigation for homeless fraud and corruption. The FBI is asking the same question we've been asking. Where the hell did the money go? This isn't speculation. LA City Council members have already gone down. Bribery, fraud, corruption exposed.
If the powerful and privileged in this city can violate the law with impunity, what does that say to the rest of us in Los Angeles?
The homeless money was a slush fund, pay to play. Contracts going to connected developers, consulting fees going to political friends. California Underground covered it. 253,000 people watched the video because they knew something was wrong. Now here's the scheme. Developer donates to politician. Politician approves homeless housing. Developer gets the contract, charges $800,000 per unit, builds almost nothing, and everybody gets rich. The homeless person, well, he's still on the street. Stay tuned because it gets even worse. It's not just in Los Angeles. San Francisco down the street spent $1.1 billion on homelessness in 1 year. One city, $1 billion. Homeless population? There's poop maps to prove it's still growing. Sacramento, San Diego, Oakland, same story everywhere. California's homeless crisis is exposed everywhere. And still, no statewide investigation, no accountability, no consequences. Now, let me show you how California's homeless housing actually gets built. Los Angeles voters passed Proposition HHH, $1.2 billion for homeless housing. They promised 10,000 units, 10,000 homeless housing units. Years later, exposed, less than 2,000 units built, average cost $600,000 to $800,000 per unit, 6 times what normal housing costs. The money went to consultants, administrators, environmental impact reports, permitting delays. Everyone got paid. The homeless, well, they got nothing.
Where 80% of the people actually end up returning to the street. Instead of getting the help that they need.
And here's the part that makes me sick. While politicians spent $800,000 per unit, homeless deaths hit record highs. In LA County alone, over 2,000 homeless deaths per year. People dying on sidewalks while billions sit in program bank accounts.
Right now, 37 people on average every month are dying of drug overdose inside SROs, or what they call permanent supportive housing, in our city.
That's California's homeless crisis in 2025. So where does that leave us? Let me ask you something. You pay California taxes, income tax, sales tax, property tax, gas tax. Where do you think that money goes? You drive past homeless encampments every single day. Skid Row, Venice Beach. here underneath 85 overpass, your local city, and you've been told, well, we need more homeless spending, more programs, more tax dollars. California spent $24 billion on homelessness. The homeless population went up. Los Angeles spent $800,000 per homeless housing unit. The homeless population went up. San Francisco spent $1.1 billion on homelessness. The homeless population went up. You see the pattern?
But when it's 11 nonprofits, 10 of which are there to serve the homeless, that's called a pattern of corruption.
It was never about solving the homeless crisis. It's always been about the homeless industrial complex getting paid. Your tax dollars, their contracts, their salaries, their pensions. And homeless people, well, they're still dying on Skid Row. And here's why California's homeless crisis never gets solved. One party, one rule, no accountability, no oversight. The California State Auditor exposed it. California Underground exposed it. The FBI is investigating Los Angeles. And what happened? What do you think happened? Nothing changed. Gavin Newsom still runs California.
And so we've literally spent $1.3 billion over the last couple of years and have seen limited to no results.
Democrats still control Sacramento. Homeless spending still flows to connected nonprofits. Exposed, exposed, exposed. No consequences. That's California in 2025. $24 billion in homeless spending, the crisis worse than ever. Los Angeles under federal investigation, and Gavin Newsom wants to be president. If you're tired of California's homeless crisis being used to steal your money, subscribe, hit that bell. The California media won't expose this. They protect Sacramento. I don't. Yesterday, I exposed $54 billion in California welfare fraud. Today, the industrial homeless complex is exposed. Tomorrow, California's high-speed rail to nowhere, billions more exposed. Please share this video. Every Californian needs to see where their tax dollars actually go. I'm Ramin. This is Real Talk. And California's homeless crisis? It was never about helping the homeless. It's always been about the money.
This is insane. Insane. This is for children? This. Am I crazy here? I mean... And the noises. Yes? In the USA, you sell this for the children. And this is totally normal. It's awful. Children imitate what adults do. And mind you, you can put the button here. But no! They placed it here because it's better.